I don't know quite how to define beauty, but I'm listening and learning from others who do. So I think the question is not so much where does beauty come from, but where does our ability to recognize it come from? And that to me is the deeper question. And what's the connection between whatever beauty is, but our ability to recognize it and make that connection? I think it's amazing as I just showed you kind of very quickly, but how we can use astronomy as a time machine to kind of see how the universe has evolved in time to the point where we can have life-bearing planet, at least one, and that life itself has evolved to the point of being able to ask these kinds of questions and talk about beauty and meaning and purpose. We may be able to track every single natural step in that whole progression at someday to the point where we get here, but then we still have to ask the bigger question, the capital W, why. And for me personally, that answer to that big capital W, why, that goes beyond the kinds of questions that the tools of science can answer, leads me back to God. And I really feel that I have enough evidence, both from my observations of human nature, my observations of beauty, if you will, the match I see between what's revealed in Scripture and the good and bad in human nature that I see around me, and then my own personal experience, and historically the coming of Jesus Christ, to put it all together, that for me it's enough to say the answer to beauty and the meaning of life really is in God and is in his appearance in Jesus Christ. I think one of my most hilarious books I've ever read was Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. And if those of you are familiar with this famous book, part of it was that a supercomputer was tasked with finding the ultimate meaning of life, the universe, and everything. And after 7 million years, the computer came up with the answer, which was 42. And then everyone was puzzled and baffled because they didn't know what the question was. So they had the answer, but they didn't have the question. And the answer being a number wasn't ultimately satisfying. And so I think in science, while we want to know exactly the physical causes and effects and the ultimate physical origin of the universe or the multiverse or whatever, for me as a Christian, what I realize is that the real ultimate answer is not in an equation or a force. It's in a person, and it's in a living God, and in the person of Jesus Christ. And that is where I've come to in all of the bigger questions of life.